So how much did it cost me to do a 4-night trip to Vancouver? Let's do the math and figure it out. While I do this hike, I'm gonna be out of breath by the end of this video. Let's start with a few tips. Bring a jacket. Closer to the winter it is, the thicker the jacket should be. Everyone there speaks English, not so much French. And yes, it is a fact that all Canadians are extremely nice. All right, great. Is that about a 5-minute video yet? No, I should have probably prepared more. Transportation while you're there. For a 4-night trip, we spent a total of 79 Canadian dollars. At the current exchange rate, it's about 65 US dollars. We pretty much got around everywhere we needed to go to with public transportation, which is the train and the buses and the sea bus. And that's about 10 Canadian dollars for a full day, which is great. Unless you buy it at the airport or one other station, I think it's 15 Canadian dollars. But the public transportation I thought was really good. I heard some people say it's not great, but it pretty much got us to everywhere we needed to go. We used Google Maps for all our navigation and it was super accurate. The buses were always right on time. We also spent one day renting a bicycle, which was about 25 Canadian dollars for the whole day. And if you're interested, there's short-term bicycle rentals, there's short-term car rentals, and boat rentals even. So let's look at a map of Vancouver. We wanted to stay in this area, but we booked our Airbnb super last minute, so we ended up staying down around here. Tons of epic hikes up this way. Stanley Park is here, which is this huge park we didn't get to go to, but I hear it's awesome. Kitsilano is a cool area here. Wreck Beach over here, which is the giant nude beach, and I talk about all these places more in detail in my last video, so check that out. Also, if you want to see this map with all these destinations, I'm gonna put a link in the description. For places to stay, we stayed at an Airbnb, which ended up being much cheaper than a hotel for us. We stayed here for 4 nights. There were better options, but we booked everything super last minute, so we were kind of out of options. But this place was comfortable and clean and not too expensive, so no complaints from me. So one of our plans was to buy some groceries at the store, and since we had a kitchen, we were planning on cooking some food to save on some cash. Yeah, but that didn't happen. The food there was really good. There's a little bit of everything. Tons of sushi, some poutine. We also had some ramen, a lot of Asian food actually. And we were doing pretty well on budget, but we did splurge on the very last night on an oyster dinner. It was so good, it was totally worth it. Oh yeah, and tipping etiquette is very similar to the States, where it's about 15 to 20% per meal. Yeah, the whole tipping thing is a little weird, isn't it? Like if you're watching from one of the countries where you don't really need a tip and all the servers make a decent wage, I mean, that's probably a better system. Food was probably one of the more expensive things while we were there, but what's good is that all the activities that we did were completely free. All of the hikes, the parks, the beaches, all free. If you're looking across the suspension bridge, there's that one popular one, but I think that's about $40. So we ended up going to Lynn Canyon, which is kind of like the smaller version, but it's free, so we're glad we did that. And of course, being naked on the beach is also completely free, so cool. Oh God, I need to sit down. Sweat's going into my eyes. All right, nice. I found a little shaded area. Let's just finish the video here. The nightlife there was actually really good. There's a lot of different neighborhoods. It wasn't crazy expensive or anything. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, so I basically need to take out a loan if I want to go out and drink. Our favorite areas were probably Yaletown and Gastown, but if you're trying to get plastered and black out, then you might want to check out Granville Street. Drinking age in British Columbia is 19, which is kind of a random number. Oh my God, there's so many bugs here. Why do I, gotta move. Oh yeah, and if you're looking for weed while you're there, I don't really smoke, so I can't really tell you the legal status of it or anything, but I did walk by some dispensaries that look like lemonade stands. Another thing, you should also probably get some cash while you're there. Most places took credit card, but there were a few times where cash really came in handy. In terms of phone service, I have Verizon Wireless, which doesn't charge for Canada, so adding everything up, with the current exchange rate, you can expect to spend about 668 Canadian dollars for the trip we did, which converts to about 540 US dollars. And then depending on where you're flying from, add up the cost of a flight, and then add it to this, and then bam, there's your total budget. Mika actually works for American Airlines, so she hooked this flight up. I didn't have to pay anything. But for your reference, to travel from Los Angeles, most flights are between $200 to $300 round trip. From New York City, it's generally around $300 to $400 US dollars. So let's say I were to pay for my own flight from Los Angeles, let's just say $250 to be safe. My grand total would have been $797 US dollars for a 4-night trip, which is actually pretty good. You know, Vancouver is not necessarily a super cheap city, but that's not a terrible price for a 4-night trip, I think. I also asked some people on Reddit, what are the must-do things while you're in Vancouver? Here's what they said. Buy a house and leave it vacant. Eat at Arby's. I don't get it. Wear Vans. I don't really get that either. One of the first things I noticed about Vancouver is that they definitely promote this super healthy lifestyle where everyone eats well and works out, and they're always out hiking, which has really motivated me to try to start exercising and eating healthy, which is why I'm on this stupid hike in the first place. This is day 4 of eating healthier and working out, and I weighed myself in today and I gained 3 pounds. Like, what the fuck? Guys, is that almost 5 minutes yet? Am I done yet?